Just two. Well, there are one or two hadith I want to ask. If you can shed some light on it.
Okay.
It is narrated that the scholars are the inheritors of the Prophet, number one. Okay, and number two, when Muhammad ﷺ was asked by his Sahabi in a gathering, O Prophet, Ayna Sukhair, who are the good people?
Yeah.
And the Prophet said, Al-ulama'i wal-umara, the scholars and the leaders. Yeah. And then they asked, well, O Prophet, who are the bad people? Who? And he said, Al-ulama'i wal-umara. And the conclusion of the hadith that the Prophet said is, if the scholars and the leaders are good, then everything is good, and if the scholars and the leaders are bad, everything becomes bad. So if you can just...
Now, when there is a hadith that there is no argument about it to be weak, then we don't have to spend time in it. If the hadith, like people have said, it's sahih, then we have to explain why we disagree. The second hadith that you mentioned is weak. Unanimously, almost unanimously. When we say unanimously, we are referring to the big wall of hadith.
The scholars and the leaders.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
So, therefore, you don't have to spend time thinking about it because it comes from a narration which is mursal, and it comes from a narration where it's Dawood ibn al-Muhabbir and other narrations.
Could you explain in which books of hadith they're documented in, and who uses these hadith, and who are the proponents and
because it's so weak, these books, you don't find it in Musnad al-Firdaus. You will find it as well in Tarikh of Baghdad, and there are other books that mentioned it, but I don't know all the sources, of course. I remember that there is a narration from Dawood ibn Muhabbir, who is considered to be a liar, and there is another narration which is just maqtu', hadith maqtu'. Actually, it makes it the saying rather than the hadith of the Prophet saying of a tabi'. You understand? So that is one hadith. The other hadith, which is people have different opinion about, which is the hadith of Abu Darda. The second hadith about the ulama warathatul anbiya. The ulama are the inheritors of the prophets. This is the hadith that Ibn Hajar says some people consider it to be da'if. And I think he should have said some people consider it to be sahih. It's more likely. This hadith is the narration of Asim ibn Raja ibn Hayawa, who, despite some people grading him to be like, okay, this is what I remember from this man. I don't remember anyone recognized person of hadith who said he is thiqa. But I remember that Abu Zur'a said he is okay, and Nasa'i saying he is okay. Okay is not good enough. From Dawood ibn Jamil.
Okay, because he hasn't got the retentive memory, or because he...
Well, it is not that much known.
Okay.
From Dawood ibn Jamil, who is majhul. Majhul because nobody have said anything about him good. From Kathir ibn Qais, who is majhul as well, or da'if. It's enough that this is what Daraqutni says about Dawood ibn Jamil. He said him and people above him, like him and Kathir ibn Qais, are majhul. In another narration, he said he is weak. And you won't find a statement that contradicts this from someone like Daraqutni. You understand? So this hadith will be weak for this reason. Because of Asim ibn Raja ibn Hayawa, who narrated from Dawood ibn Jamil, from Kathir ibn Qais actually, or Qais ibn Kathir. Even Tirmidhi, when he narrated this hadith, he says, this to me is a mistake. This hadith is narrated by Tirmidhi and Abu Dawud. Now, if this hadith was sahih, which is not, the hadith is not sahih. If this hadith is sahih, you remember the ayah that I said earlier? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. Indeed, those who fear Allah are the ulama. Now after this ayah, إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after few ayah, that is number 28 in Surah Fatir, number 32 says this: then we gave the book in inheritance. What is knowledge? The book, Quran and Sunnah. Okay, let's see who are these people, the ulama that Allah, if the hadith was sahih, who are these ulama who have been given the book as inheritance? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, then we gave the book as inheritance to such of our slaves whom we choose. Then of them are some who wrong themselves, and of them are some who follow a middle course, and of them are some who are, by Allah leave, foremost in good deeds. That inheritance of the Quran, that is indeed the great grace. So every Muslim is a ulama.
Well, that's killed it there, isn't it?
So this is the hadith, of course, is da'if. So yeah. Any other questions?